Hello everyone, welcome back to Simrite Fashion Academy YouTube channel once again today. So today is going to be the making of this scrunchy ruffle sleeve you are seeing right there on the screen. So for this scrunchy ruffle sleeve, I'll be making use of 1 yard. Okay, what I have here is a yard of doll face. A yard of doll face is 36 inches and the length comes at 60 inches. Okay. So this yard of doll face I have right here, I'm going to quickly fold it by 2. Okay, I'm folding it by 2 on the length of 60 inches. Okay, the longer length, I'm going to fold the longer length by 2, as you can see. So this is the longer length at which all fabric comes at 60. I folded it by 2, as you can see. All right, so now I folded it by 2. I'm going to also fold the part of the 1 yard, which is 36. I'm going to also fold it again like this by 2. Okay, so let me take it again. The first you do, this is a yard. The yard is 1 yard 36 by this length and 60 inches, which is the normal fabric length. So I'm going to fold first the 60 inches fabric length, making sure they are equal. Okay, so you can see I folded the 60 inches fabric length I have here on fold. I will pick up the 36 yards part and fold it again on fold. Can you see? So once you fold the 60 inches, you fold the 36 on fold. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have this part on fold, we have this part on fold as well. Okay, so if you follow these instructions and watch this video, you'll be able to get what I'm doing. So now this is the open end which we folded. That is the 36 yards. This is the 36 yards divided by 2 now, because I've kept it on fold right now. So I'll be having half a yard right here, 18 inches. So make sure you have your fabric folded appropriately before you can embark on this ruffle sleeve we are making right now. So I'm making sure I have everything arranged. As you can see, this part is on fold and this is the part on fold. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do now is to get the midpoint of what I have right here on the folded part. So from here to here, I'll be measuring what I have. Here I have 29 inches. So the midpoint of 29 inches I have, this is the midpoint. Can you see? So at this midpoint right now, remember this is the part on fold and this is the open end. 1, 2, 3, 4 open end. I'm going to draw a line starting all the way from the down. This is the hem part of this sleeve. I'm drawing like as you are making your sleeve. You know how you draw your sleeve line. Okay, so I'm going to draw it to that 1/2 inch. Okay, trying to create my sleeve line at that point. Okay, so this is it. I'll create the sleeve line into this part, as you can see. Okay, all right, so once that is done, I'm going to cut it off. What I have here, I'm going to cut it off right away. So I'm cutting it off. Okay, let me just trim off what I have here so it will be equal. So if you are cutting your sleeve, you know how you cut your sleeve edge. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm trying to do right here. Can you see? So I'm trying to cut like my sleeve edge. Okay, trying to make a sleeve edge at this point. Okay, all right, so now I've connected this is what I have right here. As you can see, it has been connected. So I I need to trim off the sleeve part here to match up with what I have here. All right, so once that is done, if you open up this sleeve, this is what you'll be having on this sleeve. Can you see? This is what you'll be having. So like I said, this part of the sleeve, okay, let me turn it the way it was before we cut. Okay, so you see this part is going to be the hem part of this sleeve. So now I'm going to find the right side. This is the right side, and I'll go over to the machine now to sew. I'm going to sew, leaving 6 inches. I'll leave from this point 6 inches. You will see why we have to leave 6 inches before we sew. So I will start sewing from 6 inches, and I'm going to sew all the way like this. This is the open end. I'll sew it round. What I'm trying to do is to close up this. So once I get to this end, I'll also leave another 6 inches. We'll be using it to insert the part of the round sleeve that will form the scrunchie for us. So now I will go to the machine now. I'm going to sew from this point. After 6 inches, I'm going to sew round like this and get back to 6 inches. Let me quickly do that. Now you can see I've sewn. After 6 inches, I've stitched. You can see my stitching lines. Can you see that? Up to this point, and I left another 6 inches. So I'm going to turn this sleeve from that point. I'm going to turn it around. Okay. So I'm bringing it out from that point. So you can see why we left the 6 inches. Okay. And not only that, we are going to insert the sleeve that will form the scrunchie on this point. So this is it. To get the sleeve band that will form the scrunchie for us, what I have here is my round sleeve, full round sleeve measurement plus 0.5 inch seam allowance. So my round sleeve measurement is 17. Taking my tape around my sleeve is 17. But here I added 18 inches because I'll stitch half an inch here, half an inch here. So the width we have here is the 6 inches. So you can see why we left 6 inches. So right now I'm going to, this is the hem part, the folded part of this sleeve. So I'm going to insert this sleeve. I'm inserting this sleeve right now into this space we have right here, right away. And I'll go over to my machine now to sew this end. Okay, so I'm going to place it in the 6 inches line, making sure it matches up with the 6 inches. You can see. So make sure you have this straight. So I'm going to place it so it lays flat. Okay, it does not need to twist or rumple or whatever. So I'll go to the machine now. I'm going to arrange it and sew on top of it like this. So let me quickly do that. So you can see on the open part right now, I've inserted the band and I've stitched on top of it. Okay, so make sure you start inserting from the beginning. Because this part is curved, you don't expect it to be equal. So I'm going to trim it off immediately to match up with what I have on the rest of the sleeve. So this part I inserted, this band, is the one part of the open end. I'm going to bring it out and sew on this other part of the open end. So I'm going to put in my finger, my hands, and bring the band. Make sure the band is laying flat. Make sure it is not twisting. Okay, it needs to lay flat on the sleeve. Can you see the way it's inserted? It has to be flat. So I'm making sure it's flat, and I'm bringing it, you can see that. So you can see as I'm bringing it out, it's already forming the scrunchy effect. So I've brought it out here once again. I'll go to my machine right now, and I'm going to place it and sew. Okay, I'm going to arrange it and sew the same way I did. So let me go and sew it right now, then we'll be back to show you what next to do. All right, people, so now you can see I've sewn this part. Okay, I brought out from this end and I stitched that part. So now I'm going to cut off what I have right here. So automatically you notice that this sleeve has already had that scrunchy effect. Can you see that? Okay, it has already gathered on its own. So the next thing we'll be doing now, you know, the sleeve head part which we cut and shaped and we have stitched. So right now I'm going to gather. I'm going to run my gather stitches starting all the way from here. We are going to gather, run the gather stitches and gather this to give us that strong scrunchy effect. Can you see? So it's already coming up already. Okay, so now I will go to my machine, I'll run my gather stitches and draw the gathers so you see what it looks like. All right, so I use a contrasting thread. Okay, so you'll be able to see what I'm doing right here. Okay, so I've run my gathers on the part of the sleeve head which we shaped. So the next thing I want to do now is to draw my gathers. So I'm going to draw these gathers on the sleeve head. I'm going to draw it to match up with what I have on my armhole. So you'll be measuring your armhole of the dress you are making. You measure the armhole of the dress, whatever thing you have, that is what you are going to gather these into. Okay, so you can see it's already forming the scrunchy effect with these gathers right now. So this is the part I've gathered. I'll also come over here as well. I'll start gathering. So once I finish gathering, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have on the sleeve head to make sure it corresponds with my armhole before I sew it into the armhole. Okay, so I'll do this and take the measurement, and then we'll close up the sides of this sleeve and sew it right into the armhole. So you can see the scrunchy effect looking so beautiful and wonderful right here. So I'm done gathering it right now. From the parts I curved, I've gathered it to the length of my armhole. Okay, all right, so the next thing I will do is to pick up this part and this part right now. Okay, you can see them, and I'm going to put it together. I'm going to put it inside and I'm going to match it together and sew. Okay, I'm going to sew it down. So once I sew it down, I'll bring it back for you to see. This is the armhole part, where you are going to attach this crunchy sleeve to your dress, as you can see. So let me quickly stitch it right now. So another thing I want to say is, you can see we turned it before we gathered. So you might not actually turn, you can just run a stitches on top of it and serge this part so it does not have this bulky effect. So you'll be able to attach the sleeve very smoothly to the armhole. So I'll be closing up this side right now. I'll just run my stitches. So I've sewn off the edges. I just stitched at from here to here at about 2 inches. Okay, because this will be attached together from here to the armhole. Okay, so it's going to be attached to the armhole. So make sure you measure your round armhole and ensure you have it accurately with your sleeve before you go in attach. So this part will be attached at the sleeve armhole downside, and this will be attached to the upper. I thought of showing you what you can also do to make this scrunchy part of this sleeve relax, like a smoke sleeve. So I come in with my needle and thread, and I'll pick in, although this is supposed to be picked from under, Okay, but it's okay. I'll have to do that neatly with a matching thread, but I'm using a contrasting thread because this is a tutorial. So you just pick one scrunchie to the other and you take it to have that much crunchy effect, as you can see on the screen right there. Okay, so you have to do this with a matching thread like I earlier said, so it does not actually show on your fabric. Can you see? So I've done the first. So you can also decide to pass this thread below and pick another scrunchy part. Okay, you can pass it below if you wish, but if you don't, okay, can you see that you pick another scrunchy part of it, put them together and stitch. So once that is done, you have your full smoked scrunchy effect. Can you see that? So you can see you have your full smoked scrunchy effect. So I'm going to do exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm going to find all the scrunchy part of this sleeve. As you can see now, I'm going to find them like that, and I'll make sure I do this neatly, and you need to be creative while doing this as well. Okay, so you can see it's forming that scrunchy effect. So if you don't want to pass your thread, okay, you can do them one after the other. Okay, it depends on what you are trying to achieve. Like as you can see this right now, which I've done, you can see how it's taking all the sleeves together, forming that smoke effect. Okay, that smoky effect on the sleeve. So this is what I'll keep doing. I'll keep doing it all around. I might also decide to do it one after the other. Instead of passing my thread below, I can decide to come in. As you can see, I might decide to take it one after the other, as I have this now with a matching thread so it does not show. I can go in here and knot only one for one and cut out my thread. Okay, then I'll find another part that will form that scrunchie. Once again, I might pick up here and here, or pick up here and here. So at this point you need to be creative to know where and how to place your smoky effect. Okay, so I'll do that all over the places I've gone ahead to pick my smoke. I've smoked it, as you can see. So like I said, you should use your needle and thread to pick these smokes. Okay, so now I'm going to sew this on the armhole like I earlier explained. So once it's sewn to the armhole, this is what you'll be having: a beautiful scrunchy ruffle balloon sleeve, as you are seeing on the screen right there. So I'll be placing it on the dress form for you to see the final outlook. All right, lovely people, so right now this is the beautiful smoky scrunchy sleeve which we just made right now. So I've pretended putting it on the armhole. So once you sew it on the armhole, you have this beautiful effect on your sleeve. So make sure you use a matching thread. Okay, make sure you use a matching thread to pick the smokes, and make sure you smoke at places that will give you a beautiful effect. Okay, all right, so this sleeve is actually looking so beautiful. I'm loving this sleeve right now. Okay, so this is how to go about your scrunchy ruffle smoke sleeve. Thank you very much for coming to this tutorial once again. And if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. So thank you for coming once again, and see you in my next video. Bye.